Hi, I'm Toshi from Japan and a tourist guide for foreigners. In this video, I'll show you 15 Japan's unspoken rules to know before traveling to Japan.
Before we dive into today's video, let me share a bit about myself. Having spent 2 years in the US and explored 75 countries, I've uncovered unspoken rules in Japan that often go unnoticed by foreign visitors. So, today, I'll reveal some rules that can significantly impact your travels. If you live in Japan according to your own country's rules without knowing these rules, you may be arrested or charged a fine. And what's considered unacceptable in your country might be good in Japan. Those are things you should definitely know when traveling in Japan. Please watch till the end.
So, let's get started.
Number 1 is don't drink and drive. While I was living in the United States, laws regarding drinking and driving were influenced by blood alcohol concentration levels. American friends often shared that consuming approximately 1 beer or a glass of wine meant it was acceptable to drive about 40 minutes later. However, in Japan, the standards are different, with even a single drink potentially exceeding the legal limit for driving. The blood alcohol concentration limit is low, and depending on the breath alcohol concentration, you could face up to 5 years in prison, or a fine of up to 1 million yen, about $7,000. It's not just the person driving who faces consequences. The person who lent the car and passengers could also be penalized. Japan has sobriety checkpoints, so it's essential to avoid drinking and driving.
If you had a drink, consider using a taxi or public transportation to stay safe and follow the rules.
Number 2 is restriction on bringing medicine. During my time in the US, I was amazed by the variety of painkillers available at pharmacies. However, it's crucial to note that even prescription drugs from the US, such as painkillers, are subject to regulations when entering Japan. Bringing in medications without awareness of these restrictions can result in penalties. I've personally experienced purchasing medication in the US only to find out it wasn't approved in Japan, so I didn't bring it to Japan. Additionally, be aware that bringing recreational drugs, stimulants, or narcotics for entertainment purposes is strictly prohibited and can lead to severe consequences. So exercise caution.
Japan has strong regulations on medication, so I strongly recommend checking Japanese government's official website before coming to Japan.
Number 3 is cars drive on the left side. In Japan, there's a unique driving custom that might surprise visitors from many countries around the world. While most nations drive on the right side of the road, Japan stands out as a left-side driving nation. But it's not just the direction of traffic that sets Japan apart. Unlike in countries like the United States, where right turns on red lights are often permitted, Japan follows strict traffic rules. Turning right on a red signal is generally not allowed. Moreover, there's another interesting quirk when you're on foot. In Japan, it's customary to walk on the left side of the sidewalk or pathway, which is the reverse of countries that drive on the right.
When you come to Japan, remember these traffic rules and enjoy your trip safely in Japan.
Number 4 is drinking outside. While I was living in the United States, one of the cultural differences that stood out was the rules around outdoor drinking. In many places, enjoying a beer or a glass of wine in public areas was often against the law. However, you are allowed to drink outside in Japan. In Japan, this tradition is particularly evident during Hanami, the cherry blossom viewing season. People gather under the beautiful sakura trees to celebrate nature's fleeting beauty. You'll see families, friends, and even strangers coming together for picnics, laughter, and yes, drinks.
So if you are planning a trip to Japan, remember that outside drink is allowed. I think it's a great opportunity for you to enjoy Japanese unique charm.
Number 5 is Japanese public rule. Let's explore an unspoken rule that might surprise you when dining at Japanese izakayas. In about 90% of izakayas, when you sit down, a small dish of food, called otoshi, will be brought to your table, even though you didn't order it. This is a unique Japanese custom and acts as a sort of seating fee, typically around 400 yen to $0.70, while some places might allow you to decline. Consider it generally non-negotiable. Personally, I don't like this rule in Japan. Another rule to be aware of is the one drink, one order system. Each person is expected to order at least one drink and one dish. This is in place to ensure that the establishment remains profitable, as a low number of orders doesn't benefit the restaurant. Approximately 50% of izakayas follow this system.
Understanding and embracing these rules will enhance your experience at Japanese izakaya. Cheers to a delightful your dining adventure.
Number 6 is all-you-can drink. All-you-can drink called Nomiharai is a system in certain eateries where, for a fixed fee, you can freely choose and drink as much alcohol or soft drinks as you like within a set time frame. This is commonly offered in some izakayas and restaurants. The standard time limit is around 2 hours, and the cost ranges from 1,500 to 2,000 yen, making it a cost-effective choice if you plan to have a round for drinks or more. However, it's essential to note that the available drinks are predetermined, and anything not listed comes with an extra charge or may not be available for order. Additionally, some establishments offer the option to extend the time for an additional fee.
So, if you like alcohol and have a strong drink, please take advantage of this system and enjoy your nightlife in Japan.
Number 7 is small portions at restaurant. When I lived in the US, I was often surprised by the large portion sizes at restaurants. As a result, I often found myself unable to finish everything and ended up taking leftovers home. If you're coming from a country where portions tend to be larger, you might find Japanese meals to be smaller in comparison. If you're concerned about portion sizes, don't hesitate to ask the staff for recommendations or additional details. Moreover, keep in mind that dining in Japan is relatively affordable, so feel free to order more dishes or go to another restaurant if you're still hungry.
Enjoy your culinary adventures in Japan.
Number 8 is don't allow take out. When I lived in the US, taking leftovers home from restaurants called to go was a common practice. However, in Japan, many restaurants have restrictions on takeout. The reasons behind this practice include the lack of prepared takeout containers and concerns about the potential for food poisoning, particularly with the risk of foodborne illness associated with takeout. Establishments may be hesitant to take on that responsibility. However, nowadays no takeout rule is changing in some places, driven partly by a growing awareness of food waste. So, some restaurants allow takeout.
If you would like it to go, feel free to ask the restaurant staff about their policy and enjoy your meals in Japan.
Number 9 is slurp noodles. Noodle dishes like ramen and udon hold a special place in Japanese cuisine and are beloved worldwide. However, when you visit noodle restaurants in Japan, you might notice a distinctive practice: locals audibly slurping their noodles. This unique habit is rooted in the belief that slurping enhances the flavors of the noodles. However, most of Japanese understand that in some countries, slurping can be considered impolite or distracting. Therefore, when dining in Japan, you're not obligated to adopt this custom if it makes you uncomfortable.
So, feel free to savor a noodle in your manner that aligns your preference.
Number 10 is no tipping system. In many countries worldwide, tipping is a common practice. Whether you're at a restaurant, a hotel, or various other places, it's customary to leave a tip as a token of appreciation. However, Japan operates by a different set of rules when it comes to this custom. There is no tipping culture in Japan, so it can be quite a pleasant surprise for travelers. In Japan, you won't need to worry about how much to tip because there's no tipping culture. This unique aspect sets Japan apart from many other places like Western countries. From my experience working part-time at a restaurant when I was a university student, even if you tip the staff, it doesn't make the person money, unfortunately. That will be added to the restaurant sale.
So, when you are in Japan, you can freely enjoy your experience without the need to calculate these chips. Embrace this no-chipping culture and savor your journey with peace of mind.
Number 11 is train etiquette. I will tell you about 3 types of etiquette on Japanese trains. Firstly, the concept of priority seats. These are seats reserved for individuals with physical disabilities, the elderly, and pregnant passengers if the seats are unoccupied. It's acceptable for you to sit, however. Always be ready to give up your seat if someone in need arrives. Second, be quiet on the train. Unlike some places where chatter is common, Japanese trains are known for their serene atmosphere. Talking loudly or using your phone is considered impolite. It's a unique experience for many foreign visitors, as the train cars are filled with people, yet the environment remains remarkably quiet. Lastly, managing your belongings. To ensure everyone can board comfortably, small bags should be placed on your lap or on the overhead rack if you have a backpack. Taking it off and holding it in front is recommended to avoid inconveniencing fellow passengers.
These manners are rooted in Japan's exceptionally high train occupancy rate.
Number 12 is secret reserving tables. Imagine you're at a restaurant, particularly one with a counter where you place your order. In Japan, it's customary for customers to secure their seats before heading to the counter. What's unique about this practice in Japan is that people often use personal items, such as phones or even wallets, to mark their chosen seats. This Japanese custom might catch you off guard when reflecting on my experience living in America. There's a significant chance that if you leave your valuables unattended and return to your seat, they might disappear.
Although Japan is renowned for its safety, I don't strongly recommend adopt this habit.
Number 13 is tip at supermarket. Traveling to Japan and planning to grab some snacks or groceries at a convenience store or supermarket, there's an unspoken rule you should be aware of. Unlike in some other countries, in Japan, products are often arranged on the shelves with those closest to their expiration dates placed at the front. It's a unique practice that might catch you by surprise. Back when I lived in the US, this wasn't a common custom. The idea here is to encourage customers to pick items from the front, utilizing the psychology of taking from the front. However, you can feel free to reach for items displayed further back.
So when you come to Japan, remember this custom and enjoy your shoppings in Japan.
Number 14 is passport rule in Japan. If you're a foreigner in Japan, it's a requirement to show your passport if approached by the police. While this might pose a slight risk of misplacing it, it's a rule you need to adhere to at all times. This measure is in place to distinguish legitimate visitors from those potentially engaging in unauthorized stays. However, carrying your passport also comes with its perks. Some stores offer a tax-free discount of 10% for passport holders. I personally enjoyed this benefit during my time living in the United States as a non-resident. However, it's essential to note that to qualify for this and other advantages, you'll need the entry stamp from your arrival in Japan.
So always make sure to obtain that stamps upon your entry. Enjoy the benefits of traveling to Japan.
Number 15 is honne and tatemae. Hon refers to genuine emotions, while tatemi is the outward expression, often considered a form of social courtesy. For instance, when a Japanese person says, "I'll think about it," it might be a polite way of declining. In other cases, in response to a reluctant invitation, the Japanese will say, "I'll go if I can." In this case, they definitely won't come to invite you, while tatemi may be likened to a white lie. Its purpose differs. Unlike lies meant to deceive, tatemi is a tool for maintaining harmonious communication, allowing individuals to express themselves without causing discomfort. Some might find it perplexing. It is difficult to understand what Japanese are thinking, but fear not. They just want to express their feelings casually to avoid conflict. So, when you encounter these nuances, remember it's a cultural difference, not a mystery to unravel.
How were the 15 Japan's unspoken rules? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like button. See you in my next video. Bye.